Shalom, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, by Shemi Awashai, by Shimmer Kakwadash, double honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught us his truth, peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful Akim, teaching and preaching his truth with all righteousness and sincerity. Zach Awasap, today's lesson is entitled E014067, M0T8, and the CH19. And Lord, will you be edified through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashmi Awashai, true names of the Heavenly Father and his only begotten Son. And as always, our lessons, our sit downs, our street speaking is for the remnant, the elect, the Israel of the Most High, and to use the gospel preach. So I got, this executive order pulled up that Biden signed back in March, basically paving the way for the digital currency infrastructure. All right. And, as always, we speak about the M0T8, the CHIP, and how, that's the time that we're in. We're very close to, Babylon the Great pushing out that cashless society. All these executive orders, all the, as I mentioned, the digital currency infrastructure is already set up, the tap to pay, the convenience, the cryptocurrency. And when you look at, the American dollar, it's backed by so much debt, so it's almost, pointless for them to try to reverse that. It makes more sense for them to, come out with a new currency. All right. And the prophecy has told us that this is what this system will be pushing out here in these last days. All right. And hey man, we at the door. We got all these things that's happening upon the earth. We got a looming famine. We got debt and a financial crisis, which this is all set up, all right, and engineered behind the scenes because ultimately they want chaos. All right. When we talking about day, we talking about the upper echelon Edomites, so you so-called white people. But we got the debt and financial crisis going on. We got the war on gas. We got the situation that's happening with these farmers and these ranchers in regards to feed, fertilizer, fuel. And, the standard of living is changing. All right. And you got, certain things that's happening in Europe, which these Edomites, they beta testing certain, scenarios in Europe. So that way, when it's presented here in Babylon, they can correct whatever errors that happen in Europe so they can perfect it here. At the end of the day, Babylon the Great, which is America, is the Lord's focal point for this up and coming destruction. All right. And the destruction won't come until this this CHIP is pushed out. All right. And then, we're going to experience Jacob's trouble, the chaos, the anarchy, the sedition, the rebellion, the love of many waxing cold, and Esau, Edom coming down with great wrath. But first, these economic policies have to be pushed out. All right. And this is the global elites, agenda. This is their enterprise. This is what they want to do. They want to basically put you in digital slavery. So we're going to read a little bit of this E014067. It says officially titled Ensuring Responsible Development of Digital Assets. Everything is going digital. They don't want this money no more. It says was signed on March 9th, which is right, it was right before, if I'm not mistaken, the Passover. March 9th, 2022, the year of Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai turned up, and is the 83rd executive order signed by U.S. President Joe Biden. The telos of the order is to develop digital assets in a responsible manner. The executive order addresses the potential national security implications of cryptocurrency. Now, if you remember, or if you into the cryptocurrency and you in that world, there was a couple of breaches within that atmosphere where, you had hackers going and hacking these different exchanges and taking, millions of dollars of crypto. All right. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to, secure it so that that won't happen. And then also what America want to do is they want to compete with countries like China, and as far as the whole cryptocurrency realm, they want to be able to, keep up with them. So here's the provisions. It says the executive order aims to develop a digital asset policy plan and organize federal regulators efforts in this area. The order outlines 5 main goals, which includes protection of consumers and investors. So people who invest in it, all right, and people who buy into it and use it. It says monetary stability, increasing financial, because there's a lot of volatility when it comes to cryptocurrency. So they want to somewhat make it stable. It says decrease in financial and national security risk. They want to limit, it being hacked. Economic competitiveness, because as I mentioned earlier, China, they already got their digital infrastructure. So America, they want to, push out their own vibration. And responsible innovation. It also asks for more work to be done and to develop in the United States CBDC. All right. Because all this is going to be able to be paired with this technology here. All right. And this is all a part of the fourth industrial revolution, merging man with technology. Says companies in the digital asset field will likely see policy changes in the form of regulation and enforcement, but it might also give the market and its participants more clarity. The order instructs federal agencies to conduct a wide assessment of existing policies relating to digital assets and to submit reports recommending regulatory and legislation forms. It says the order does not change the way digital assets are governed immediately, so on and so forth. But we get the gist. The gist is basically America, which is Babylon the Great, ultimately the elites, they're getting things in order as far as their up and coming agenda. And they got to have certain things in writing so when people or the civilians buck up, they can go back and say, oh, well, we signed it in law, because the law is their strength. Let me get this in Wisdom of Solomon. See, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, his power is in deception, and a part of his deception is making it seem like the things that they're doing is backed by legislation, laws, and decrees. So when you read Wisdom of Solomon, the second chapter starts off here in the first verse. For the ungodly, these are the Edomites, reasoning with themselves, but not aright. So this is the thought process, the thinking points, the talking points of the wicked. Our life is short and tedious, and in the death of man, there is no remedy, because they don't believe in, the upper shadow government, they believe in reincarnation. They pass their riches down to their babes because they know they come back. So they keep the riches in the family. But these regular Edomites, they don't believe in reincarnation. Neither was there any man known to have returned from the grave. They don't believe in Yahweh Shai. All right. But now when we go down to the 10th verse, these are the actions and the behavior, the characteristics of these Edomites. Let us oppress the poor and righteous man, that's the elect of Israel. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the age. And that's what you see in this system. All right. They have no respect for the elderly. You can go to Walmart right now, and there's some old 60-year-old man taking all day bagging up your stuff. Why? Because, with the cost of living and inflation, you can't retire here because everything is changing. So you're gonna have elderly people working on these jobs and doing all this stuff. Even the widow, these single mothers, these single mothers be having these kids and they still gotta do extras in order to, provide food on their table. So this system is all about oppressing the Israelites. It says, here's the point: let our strength be the law of justice. So, an executive order, um, that's a law. You know, it gives them permission in order to do particular things. All right, they sign it in law, so on and so forth, and they'll be able to execute it and perform the needful things that they need to perform. It says, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing worse. Therefore, let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn. Yeah, we're not, down with this system and the things that this place offer. When you read Revelation 12, it speaks about how um, the elect love not their lives unto death. All right, the Israelites, the elect thereof, isn't going to love this lifestyle, this system. It says, and he is clean contrary to our doings. Yeah, we polar opposite to the way of these Edomites. We're just like, through the spirit, Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego. While everybody was bowing down to the sack, butt, the cornet, and all types of music, Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego, they wasn't bowing down because they worship the God of their fathers. All right, we have that same mentality. Lord willing, we endure to the end. And he upbraideth, which is talk shit or reprove and rebuke us with our offending of the law, in objective to our infamy, the transgression of our education. So we talk about the education system here and how it's not beneficial, and it basically, uplifts white supremacy. And we speak about how they offend the law. Here on the back of a dollar, it says, "In God we trust," but they push laws contrary to, the law, statutes, and commandments. So, we pretty much shake the hand and will rebuke this place. But the point I want to pretty much focus on is how it says here, let our strength be the law of justice. So through these laws, through these executive orders, the legislation and decrees, this is their strength. So once again, back in March 9th, 2022, it was already signed by Joe Biden, the ensuring responsible development of digital assets. Now, a couple of weeks ago, or less than 10 days ago, you had Joe Biden. He signs the CHIP bill, spurring hopes that supply chains for waste equipment will improve. Now, they're going to do it under the guise of, oh, yeah, we got to stop, these outside countries from producing chips that we need for our electronics, so on and so forth, these different cars, the laptops, the phones, so on and so forth. But, the Lord shows us things in the spirit. Ultimately, this is for them to further aid their conquest as far as having this agenda, all right, that you see here on the screen. So everything is being put in place, all right. So read this in Revelation 13 and close out. And Esau has entitled it "The Beast from the Earth," which is this power structure, this system that we're in now. All right, you got NATO, the EU, and with America, a part of it, collectively make up this beast system, this empire ruled by the Edomites. It's also known as the scarlet covered beast, or the great dragon. It says, and I beheld another beast come up out of the earth. This is America. And he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. And these are the two opposing forces, the Democrats and the Republicans. Now, although it appears to be two opposing forces, behind the scenes, they're all controlled by the same people. And the lamb is very docile, weak, and needs, leadership and guidance. All right. This is your Democratic Party. They come humble, they come lowly, they come meek. But as it says here, they speak as a dragon. Dragon, when you go into this word, is Dracon, which goes back to one of the Roman Caesars, which pushed out draconian legislation, which is very harsh laws. All right. And, this will make up the Republican part of these opposing forces. But at the end of the day, they are controlled by one power behind the scenes, and that's the global elites, the bankers. All right. It says, and he exercises all power of the first beast. This is talking about the Roman Empire before him, and caused the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed, because the Roman Empire or Esau went down for a space of 1,000 years and came back into power during the Renaissance period. All right. And that was the wound being healed. All right. And this system mirrors the ancient Roman Empire for the architect. You got the Latin language. All right. You got the Senate, which in the Roman Empire, you had the plebeians and the patricians, which is known today as the Democrats and Republicans. Rome had the great army. They had these different Caesars. They had democracy, and we can, go all day running parallels on how America, all right, this system mirrors the ancient Roman Empire. It says, and he doth great wonders so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. And this happened during, these wars. All right, when Esau, Edom dropped Fat Man and Little Boy on the two cities in Japan, Hiroshima and Nagasaki, that was Esau, all right, making fire come down from heaven. And that put a lot of fear in these nations. All right, this is how Esau got his great power, and the Lord gave him this power. It says, "And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by all those miracles." These wonders and these miracles, this is this technology, the planes, the missiles, and all these different things that America prides itself on. All right, this place have deceived these people, because these people thinking that the Lord is really dealing with this place. It says, of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, side the system, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, image meaning the likeness, which had the wound by the sword and did live. And Esau went down, all right, during the in the Roman Empire, and then he came back into power during the Renaissance period. So it was like a wound. He didn't completely die out. He got, smoked, and then he healed up and came back into power. It says, and he had power to give life to the image of the beast, and it's going back to his blessing, that the image of the beast should both speak. So by these executive orders, this is how this system speaks. By these different things, these laws, these decrees, the different things that's being signed into the bills, this is this system speaking. This is the beast speaking, this empire. It says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. If you ain't following the vibration of America, you're going to get either physically killed economically. You're going to have wars, seditions. Esau going to cut off the gas. He's going to come and take your natural resources, so on and so forth. All right. It says, and he causes all, let's talk about this system, ruled by Esau, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a MRK in their right hand or in their foreheads. Now, you do have Neuralink technology that they're pushing out as well, for the paraplegics and different people who have, mind altering disabilities, that affect their limbs and, motor mechanics. They have technology that can be implanted within them so they can regain strength in their limbs. So they got that as well. It says, and that no man might buy, and this man and women, that no man might buy or sell. So this is dealing with transaction. This is dealing with the economy. This is dealing with money. It says, save he that had the MRK or the name of the beast. Name of the beast goes into the vibration of Esau. All right. Now, another title of Esau is the son of perdition. So if you got this name, the name or the vibration of Esau, you're going to be destroyed out here. It says, or the number of his name. It says, and here's wisdom, let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 603 which goes into the barcode system, all right, which these devices will be attached to. All right, they're gonna have their own unique serial, number that will identify you with, just like your social security, your driver's license, these different things. This technology will have that. All right, so everything is in place. Everything is move like our elder apostle R say. When this happen, everything gonna move quick. This is gonna get pushed out. All hell gonna break loose. Yahweh Shai gonna come and destroy the armies of the earth during World War III, and then the kingdom of heaven is gonna be established. So, we almost at the doors. And matter of fact, let's actually get the balance. We read Revelation 14:9. It says, doom for the worshipers of the beast, destruction to those people who bow down and submit to this kingdom. It says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image, this system, this kingdom, and receive his MRK in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. So we at the end. All right. Yahweh Shai coming is synonymous with people taking this technology in them. So we definitely have to do it. We don't have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Everything is moving quick. Everything is being set up. Everything is put in order for Esau to come down with great wrath. We read in Wisdom of Solomon. Let our strength be the law of justice. So these is going to be looked at as laws. When people buck up, oh, why we got to do this? Why we got to do that? Oh, well, it was signed into law. Y'all voted for Biden, so, you had your political figures, all these people that you voted in and all these people, which we all know these people are set up behind the scenes. But all your governments and your politicians and all that, these people in high ranking positions, y'all voted them in. So, they did what y'all wanted them to do. That's why in Wisdom of Solomon, Second Esdras, probably end off there, these people's gonna rebel and revolt. They're gonna come up against their leaders. This is Second Esdras 15. And 14, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. So death and destruction is coming to this place. For the sword and their destruction cometh nigh, draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another and swords in their hands. There's going to be civil unrest, sedition. And Matthew, the 24th chapter, spoke about the love of many waxing cold. And then you add the famine, you add lockdowns, shutdowns, all right, and different, life affecting, policies. People's going to lose their damn mind. For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. People gonna be running to these houses, breaking in there, breaking into houses, looking for stuff, looking for food, looking for water. Women getting raped, children getting taken. All right. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and their course of their actions shall stand in their power. The reason why they're not going to regard their kings and their princes, the presidents, the mayors, the governors, the politicians, is because these people's going to feel betrayed. They're going to feel betrayed. They're going to feel beguiled because they sign these laws and these decrees to basically put people in digital slavery. So all hell is going to break loose, Akim. We almost at the door. And shalom to the Akim on the comment board. Shalom. Lord willing, you edified through the spirit and power of Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Kakudash, and double honors to our elders and apostles, great millstone and all this is truth. Shalom, Akim. Stay strong.